So look at this. Nehemiah got it all. Everything he dared to ask for before the King of Kings, a little earthly vessel of kings, right? He got everything his heart's desire to honor his God with. And he got letters, he got protection, he got the graciousness of a king to give him everything. But what? But what? Because we're thinking like, oh man, if God would just do that, everything would be fine, right? Here's the little secret we don't see in here. We think he got his heart's desire, but Nehemiah still had to work. Ain't nobody gonna build the wall for you. Ain't nobody gonna restore the temple. Nehemiah still had to put foot to faith and go. He still had to use his own hands to build up what his heart's desire. He may have got the grace. He may have got the privilege. He may have got everything from the king, but he still had to do the work. And that's what some of us are getting twisted up on with God. We thinking, God, if you could just give me this, and God saying, no, if I just gave you that, you would still have to work. So get to work now, and then I'll give. Does that make sense? Like we're waiting on God. God saying, no, I'm waiting on you. Come and ask for your heart's desire, but don't get it twisted, son. I ain't just gonna give it to you. You're gonna have to do some work for it. Why? Because this is a partnership. I ain't just some genie in a bottle that you can rub and get your 3 wishes. I'm a king. I'm a father. You a son. We're supposed to do this together. I ain't building your kingdom up, son. You meant to build my kingdom up. Now put your hands to work like Nehemiah had to do for this wall. And look how he worked. I want to show you this because this is how we meant to work with God. In this life, the here and the now. Let me show you. Flip the page, Nehemiah 4. Like we think we waiting on God's authority, on his grace, on his... We have received all that. I'll show you here in a second. He's waiting on us to put our hands to the plow. To go and do in a very specific way. Because watch what happened to Nehemiah. Nehemiah 4, verses 15 through 18. When our enemies heard that we are aware of their plot and that God had frustrated it, we all returned to the wall, each to our own work. Now listen to me. When you dare to do for God, I promise you, the enemy's going to find out about it and they're going to come against. And when they find out, you better be ready to do what God has called you to do, even more resolve, with more resolve, even more resolutely. Because it's going to happen. But if you are determined, God has made a way for you to prevail in the face of it. Look what Nehemiah did. From that day on, this is verse 16, half of my men did the work while the other half were equipped with spears, shields, bows, and armors. The officers posted themselves behind all the people of Judah who were building the wall. Those who carried materials did their work with one hand and held a weapon in the other. And each of the builders wore his sword at his side as he worked. Literally, he's saying we had the hammer and the sword. We ain't quitting just because some opposition came with us. We'll build with one hand, we'll protect it with the other. And that is what God is calling us to. Listen to me, it ain't gonna be easy. Get that out your mind right now. You're gonna have to work for it. God ain't raising up coddled children. He's raising up men, warriors, and an army of his. And you're gonna build a wall in front of your own station, in your family, in your relationship, in your calling. And you're gonna build with one hand the hammer, and you're gonna have to protect it with the other. The sword, the word of God. It ain't just gonna come opposition free. I promise you, enemies are gonna hear about it. They're gonna stir up trouble. They're gonna persecute. They're gonna prosecute. But you're gonna be ready because you're gonna have a sword with one hand and you're gonna be building the wall that God has put in front of you